Hello, everyone. Welcome to a wonderful day, the first day of the working week, which is Monday. Even though we know that in the crypto space, the last 24 hours has been very traumatic for a lot of people, especially those people that trade futures. We know that the prices of cryptocurrencies has dumped in the past 24 hours, with Bitcoin going from the last time that we had our discussion to 102K from about 104 to 105K. So there are a lot of things for us to dissect today in today's live. And I'm excited to be having it with you guys. And as always, you stay tuned. You can drop your chats in the chat section. I'll be able to respond to your messages, your questions, and I'm excited to be able to handle today's live. Web3 Pulse with the Crypto Evangelist is a very interactive live program whereby we explore what's happening in the crypto space. We talk about the latest news. We do our market watch. We do our token spotlight. We also explore different aspects of crypto. It's just a place where we come, we interact, we learn, and we explore what's happening in the ever evolving world of crypto. So let's get into it. Let's look at what's actually trending today. We have a lot of things to discuss about, and one of the things that we're going to be looking at is the crypto crash. So we can see that Bitcoin has crashed below 103K with about $450 million vanishing. And what we mean by $450 million vanishing, it's not that the money disappeared, it's more or less like liquidations. So if we look at the news that we have here, we can see that in the last 24 hours, there's been a crazy tumble in US trading hours, which has wiped Bitcoin's gains. We know that the Iranian um, legislature has voted to close the Straits of Hormuz, which is the area where about 25% of all oil tankers pass, or all oil, I don't want to use the word oil tankers, all oil ships pass. And it's going to be huge for global trade due to the Russian, I said due to the Iran Israel crisis. Sorry, I wanted to say Russia and Ukraine crisis, but it's the Iran Israel crisis. And we can see that it has really affected the entire crypto ecosystem with the crypto market down. We can see that Bitcoin, according to these Unity Wallet's executive, Bitcoin is caught between a stalemate between the bullish long term outlook and the short term mix of sentiment. So, what started as a positive day, if for those that were in the market yesterday, resulted in sharp dip. And at the time of this live, Bitcoin has even done below 103,000. Bitcoin is around 102,000 now. We've seen a dip for most of the other cryptocurrencies. We all know that if Bitcoin should drop by about 1%, we tend to see more dips for altcoins like Ethereum. Ethereum is down about 4 to 5%. Solana is also down, though many of them have rebounded in the last few hours. But the volatility actually caught a lot of traders off guard, with over 450 million in derivative trading positions on centralized exchanges liquidated. And what happened is that many traders that longed their assets, longing is that you are saying the price of Bitcoin will go up. And when there is a sharp decline, when you talk about derivatives, you're talking about futures, you're talking about margin, you're talking about the different derivatives in crypto. A sharp dip in the market could lead to losses because of those that either they have over leveraged their trading positions, or they did not leverage properly. Some people don't even set stop losses because they are thinking that the crypto market is going to be bullish. And we can see that the liquidation actually caught a lot of people off guard, with over $387 million in liquidation that were tied to long positions, while the rest were tied to short positions. But I'm not surprised that we saw about $450 million liquidated on most of the top exchanges. And there's a lot of macro risks which abound, and among them, the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. That's what everyone knows that has been trending in recent days. We can see that the conflict shows no signs of getting resolved. And unsurprisingly, we are seeing that it's affecting the market with several assets like down. And the mixed view of many people is that this current macroeconomic conditions could lead to the price of Bitcoin dipping to the 90K mark. We've seen some predictions saying that Bitcoin could hit the 90K mark. Some predictions are saying Bitcoin could actually go above 110K again. But with the way the market sentiment is, I can see the community sentiment is a bit bullish. But from what we can see from the market, I don't really expect the price of Bitcoin to really surge like that, because there are a lot of things that need to go right in the market. And at the moment, the market is sort of in fear, because there is political uncertainty. We know the US bombed some sites in Iran last week, and there's still uncertainty on retaliations. We know the airspaces in Israel and Iran are closed. We also know the airspaces in regional stable areas like Dubai and also UAE are also closed. So those kind of macro factors or fundamental analysis are going to play a major role when we are talking about the price of Bitcoin. Even though people call Bitcoin digital gold, as I always say, Bitcoin still gets affected by many of the things that happen in the market. So it's not just saying that Bitcoin is a digital gold, it's about the cryptocurrency market and how these developments affect. And then we go to our second news of today, which is about this one is regulatory news. Norway are looking to ban crypto mining. I think is due to the electricity, the strain on electricity. I think this is one word that we always see comes and goes, especially for a developing country like for a developed country like Norway. I'm actually surprised because Norway is an oil producing nation. They produce a lot of energy, produce a lot of power. But many countries have put different ban on mining Bitcoin and other proof of work cryptocurrencies because of the strain that it puts on their energy sector. And unsurprisingly, we can see that the news coming out from Copenhagen, that's Denmark, about Norway, is saying that Norway is looking to impose a temporary ban on the establishment of new data centers that mine cryptocurrencies with the most power intensive technology in order to conserve electricity for other industries, the Nordic countries' government said on Friday. And we can see that they are looking to like limit the mining of cryptocurrency in Norway. One of the things that is surprising is that in developed countries, mining is a very expensive operation. So I'm sort of surprised, because if mining is a very expensive operation, like the way it is in most developing countries, then there shouldn't be like a ban on mining operations, because you would expect that the cost of mining would be prohibitive for many players. But it appears like that is not the case, because we can see that there is a lot of there is a ban on mining in Norway, even though it's going to be a temporary ban. So what they are trying to do is that they are not looking for new data centers. The temporary ban is likely to be introduced during the autumn of 2025. I think that's one thing I like about some developed countries compared to developing countries from Africa or back home from where I'm from. When they make regulations, they tend to like give a time frame, which is very good because it allows the platforms like for them to expect the development, for them to know that you have to they're not going to be new data centers. We could see a surge in applications for the existing ones. There's always that allowance for existing people within that framework to be aware, to make changes, to be able to plan, compared to developing countries like Africa, like Nigeria, where I'm from back home. You just see regulatory uncertainty. The central bank can just wake up and just ban cryptocurrency mining out of the blue without any warning, without any time frame. So, but in developed countries, we tend to see that there is that there's usually that like kind of grace period or awareness period. I think it could also be because of legal concerns, because in most developed countries, individuals and citizens and organizations, they actually have that ability to go to court and win cases against the government, which is not really common in developing countries. So let's move on to our next news for today. Next news for today is still with regards the crypto market. We can see that there has been like an altcoin bloodbath where where we can see several cryptocurrencies have plunged. We can see the likes of the likes of Virtua, we've seen the likes of SPX, Uniswap showing like significant dip in their price. And it's not surprising because when you think of it, the crypto market dip has really affected a lot. We can see from this news on Crypto Times, although they have a lot of ads on their platform. This is quite ridiculous, but I'm not. It's not surprising. Talking about like the cryptocurrency market has concluded this week on a bearish note. We can see the altcoin, many altcoins are down. You can see the charts, a screenshot of the charts based on coin market cap. You can see that virtual protocol is down 10%, Uniswap, Lido, WorldCoin, Dog with Heart, the meme coin, Solana based meme coin is also down, which is not surprising because we know that this market dip just came up suddenly. We thought the market was rebounding, but the Israel Iran crisis shows no signs of abating, and unsurprisingly, we might not see any major developments there for a while because there is a lot of uncertainty within that ecosystem. There is the United States is not accepting, and we can see that Donald Trump has given Iran a timetable to come into negotiations, but I don't really think that's that might work because we are we are we are definitely seeing that there is a lot of like uncertainty about what's what's next. Like there's a lot of uncertainty about what's next, and there is really no one knows the next steps that is going to happen in the case between Israel and Iran. It's just a crazy situation at the moment. Like many people are baffled and are looking at it that it shows no signs of abating. So that's basically it about many of those altcoins. It's not really surprising that we are having this kind of situation whereby there is a lot of uncertainty in the market. There's a lot of like many companies are looking into like putting their assets from many altcoins into Bitcoin, and then we are seeing there's a lot of changes. So we are going to go into our market watch, which is our next session where we look at what's happening in the market. We're going to analyze what's happening in the crypto market. We're going to look at some of the things, some of the developments. We're also going to explore our normal cookie.fun and Kaito analysis to see what's trending, looking at the InfoFi platforms to be able to analyze and know what's happening in the crypto space because we know how important it is for us to be able to analyze the market and look at what's trending in the crypto space because we definitely need to explore, especially now that the crypto market is quite bad. So let's get into it. So looking at coin market cap, can see some of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Co. If you click on Bitcoin, let's look at what's happening to the leading cryptocurrency. You can see that the market sentiment is very bad. In the last 10 days, the price of Bitcoin has gone from is all-time high within that period of about $108,000. And it's currently trading at 102,000. It even went as low as 98,000 yesterday because this is 22nd of June. So it went as low as 98,000 by 9:45 p.m. So this is likely going to be the periods of time where those massive liquidations took place because most times liquidations tend to take place when there is a sharp dip in the price of an asset. So we can see the initial sharp dip here, and then we see that it was just moving sideways. It went up a bit, and then you can see the second sharp dip, and this one was even worse. So this is where most of the liquidations are likely to have taken place around 4 to 9 p.m. yesterday. So the price of the leading coin is really like struggling at the moment, but it has rebounded, which is great because it would have been bad if the price of Bitcoin was still hovering below the 100K mark, but it has rebounded to about 103K, and that shows like there's a lot of signs for Bitcoin. So going back to see the market, we can look at Ethereum, the leading altcoin, you see how its outlook in the last 7 days and in the last 24 hours, the price of Ethereum has actually like done okay. It has been able to rebound. But if you look at the 7 day chart, Ethereum is down double figures, about 13% within this time frame. And going from 2,600 to its current mark of 2,300. Many people still feel that Ethereum is undervalued, and I've seen a lot of analysis of people saying that they want to hold Ethereum within this period of time, that they believe that Ethereum has a lot of potentials for them. And I'm not surprised because as the leading altcoin, Ethereum has shown that it is one of those cryptocurrencies that has that potentials to thrive. We've seen the fact that gas fees on Ethereum are very low now, thanks to the proof of stake integration. We've also seen many side chains integrated to Ethereum. We've also seen many developments to its blockchain infrastructure that has made transactions on Ethereum faster. So that has been able to counteract the effect of Ethereum killers like Solana. We've seen Cardano and Avalanche overtaking Ethereum. Then we have Solana, which is the leading blockchain ecosystem for meme tokens, although it's not just only for meme, but it's largely known for memes, for the memes that are hosted on its blockchain. And you can see that Solana is doing okay in the last 24 hours. It's up about 5%. It's one of the few tokens that has been able to rebound okay. But in the last 7 days, it's still down double digits. We've seen some developments within the Solana ecosystem. We know that the US President Donald Trump has a lot of stake with the Trump token that is still largely based on the Solana ecosystem, and we might see some upturn on Solana in the next couple of days. Hyperliquid is still maintaining its position as the 11th largest cryptocurrency based on market cap. It has seen a massive spike in the last 2 to 3 months. If you look at the 1 month chart, it still is up about 6%. The 1 year chart is up about 1,000%. You can see the massive spike that happened from around May, or yeah, around May to June. Went from less than 15, yeah, it went from about $13 to an all-time high of about $43. So if you bought at that time, you would have made 4 times your profits, which is impressive, especially in this crypto market that has not really seen hyper growth for many tokens. So that has been impressive from Hyperliquid. We have the usual suspects like Chainlink, Avalanche, Stellar Lumens hovering within 15 to 17. And rounding up the top 20 cryptocurrencies is Litecoin, the Bitcoin fork that was designed to make Bitcoin transactions faster. You can see that Litecoin price is down 6% in the last 7 days. If we look at some of the analysis, we should be expecting the price of Litecoin to hover around the $85 mark if the market goes high. But if the market doesn't do well, then we should be expecting a retracement. You can see that there was a retracement yet to about $74. And if I look at the 7 day chart, we will see that it went as low yesterday to $78. No, it even went as low to around 70 $77. So we are looking at the support region around 76 to $77. But the next psychological barrier, if the market rebounds for Litecoin, should be around $84 because that's the next milestone. And if the price is able to stabilize there, then we could see the price of Litecoin trying to move into $86, and if possible, make another attempt at $90 in the coming days. That's dependent on the market. If the market does well, but from what we can see that the crypto market is not really in the best shape at the moment. And looking at our info file, this is one part that we always look. We want to see what is happening in the market. We want to see the latest thing. So if you look at this from cookie.com, we are starting from cookie rather than Kaito today. You can see that the market events, you can see Ethereum hits major milestone. It's 5 million ETH logged. That could be part of the reasons why Ethereum is showing like rebound. We can see some information. We can see good sentiment. Bitcoin is still leading in the good sentiment, which is impressive. We can see that it has from here we can look at some of these things to give us to gauge what the market is saying, and it also gives a bit of idea on what tokens could be the tokens that people are talking about. So like MyGa.ai now has not launched this token, but it's among the top um, projects in terms of good sentiment. We can see for BNB, for bad sentiment, we see Coinbase as one of the tokens. We've seen Launchcoin, we've seen Aging, we've seen OpenSea. These are bad sentiment. And in terms of good sentiment, we can see that there's a lot of discussions on Ethereum, on Tron, Pepe, the meme coin is also showing like signs of engagement on social media. And in terms of mind share, most of all these tokens they are like pre-TGE. You can see that Newton and Humanity Protocol have the highest mind share change in the past 24 hours. And if we look at voices is more or less like let me let me log into cookie 3 and see. Let me go back to voices. I want to like just analyze some of the data here. You can see what some of like the top guys that are trending. We have Wale.mocha, we have ICO Beasts. His mind share is down a bit. And then we want to see some of the tokens that this top mind share or yappers are talking about. Wale.mocha is high on Kaito, Arbitrum, and is bearish on BTC and Ethereum. That shows somebody that likes new tokens. We can see Ansem is high on BTC, Hype, and Fakasta. Fakasta is the Twitter-like social media platform on Base. You can actually follow me on Fakasta. We also have Gainzy is high on Pom.fun, and probably someone that likes to talk about meme coins. And then we go to Kaito to see because Kaito has the first mover in InfoFi. Then we are looking at some of the top gainers. We have Newton, but it has lost a bit of mind share recently. And you can see open, this should be open ledger. That's the pre-TG leaderboard. And when we go down, we can look at some of the data here in terms of top loser, in terms of top gainers. And then we have the high, like the pre-TG yappers. So if we try to go to the Yappa leaderboard arena, we'll see some of the projects that have been listed on Kaito. This list keeps on getting higher and higher. You can actually yap on some of them to join to be able to qualify for their yap list. The best way to get that is by yapping or chatting or talking about this project early on Twitter. We can see some new ones. I think I was able to yap at that time for Theoric and I got into the top 100 before Twitter account got my Twitter account got suspended, but I'm working on recovering it. And I was able to get into Theoric. We have some good project like Somnia. Somnia has been able to get a lot of chaos to chat about it. We know of the popular Monad. I think it might be too late for Monad now for people to get into Monad, but you can see some new projects that are here. Also, Cookie 2 has similar things there. And if you look at the CT leaderboard on Kaito, we can look at some of the people that are leading, almost similar people on Cookie are also on Kaito in terms of the city leaderboard. And then we also want to go back and check the AI agent leaderboard. If you don't know what AI agents is, these are AI chats, majorly chats that are built on Twitter that respond to people's conversations. They also bring up conversations and they are decentralized. Many of them have tokens and have become like one of the top trends in 2025. So if we look at it, AI XBT still leads. We have Bankro, we have other like ecosystem like platforms that are there. And I think one other thing that we probably need to check is crypto.ai. I want to see. Okay, I think these are individuals. I'm trying to look for. Okay, this is VC leaderboards. We know VC are venture capitalists that invest in projects. Dragonfly still maintains its top position. We have Nascent, we have AI 66Z, and some of the top guys there. So basically, that's our market watch for today, and hopefully by tomorrow we can be able to see some positive movements in the crypto space with us seeing some of these crypto platforms showing like good good metrics, and we can see some great things there. So we know that the last 24 hours has been like bad for the crypto ecosystem, and we are going to go to our next phase, which is our token spotlight. And before we go into our token spotlight list, we know that our token spotlight is sponsored by FH Crypto News. FH Crypto News is one of the top cryptocurrency platforms where you can read news, you can get analysis. It's well built, it has its ecosystem well done, and you can enjoy the very best. I use it personally for analysis when I want to look at the market, especially for top blue chip tokens like Cardano, XRP. You get analysis there. You also get a dashboard that actually works properly for you. And for like you get a dashboard that works properly for you, you're able to like get the very best information about cryptocurrencies. You get everything that you want. So all you just have to do is go to fxcryptonews.com, and you'll be able to get the informations that you need about cryptocurrencies. You get crypto price predictions. You also get Shiba Inu news. You get like a lot of information about cryptocurrencies there. So let's head into our token spotlight. Token spotlight is where we spotlight a particular token. We talk about the token, and we analyze what the token is doing. We are able to like see what exactly is happening within the ecosystem of that token. And we are looking at exploring different types of token. We've started with some of the blue chips, but today we have a unique token for lovers of sports, especially lovers of esports. And our token spotlight for today is OG fan token. OG fan token is basically a unique token that many people have been talking about, and I've been seeing it online. So that's the reason why I said, okay, let me talk, let me just talk about it today and see what it is about. So it's basically a token that is designed to transform how users like interacts with esports, and it is built for the legendary esports team, which is OG Esports, the only team to ever win Dota 2 International Championship. If you know Dota, it's a popular esports game that has a lot of players worldwide, over 50 million players. And OG Fan Token is built on the Chiliz blockchain. For many of us that don't know Chiliz blockchain is the blockchain that many fan tokens are built on. I know you might have heard of Arsenal token, PSG token. They were one of the pioneers, and they are backed by socios.com. You might have even seen them sponsoring some Premier League clubs. I know Southampton at a point was sponsored by Chiliz via their socios.com platform. And OG gives fans real influence in the team decisions and rewards them with exclusive experiences. So what OG token does is that it provides a very good in like it provides good utility for holders. So it's not just a token, it's a new era of farm powered utility, and it's a community empowerment tool which bridges esports and blockchain. It's designed for true believers, loyal fans, and Web3 culture builders. So whether you are an OG holder or exploring the fan token space, it's one of those tokens that you get and you know that there's a lot of thought process that went into the token. So we're going to look at some of the key um, features of OG token. And one of the things that we're going to look at is the strengths. One of the things that the token has is that It provides fans with direct fan influence, whereby holders can vote on OG esports team decisions such as the team jersey designs, event slogan, or even exclusive content drops. So when they drop exclusive content of their gamers or their players in the OG esports team, fans can vote, fans can get like unique perks for that. Another thing that they get is exclusive access and rewards. So when you think of fan tokens, some people take them as a form of NFT, because one of the things that NFTs were meant to do before many people got greedy and made NFT look as if it doesn't have use case is exclusive access and reward. With OG tokens, holders can unlock VIP experiences, limited merch, early event access, and digital collectibles, giving fans benefits beyond just watching their favorite people play. And that's one of the things that these fan tokens were meant to like really do when you think about it. Another thing that you have is backed by a global ecosystem. We all know Chili's network has a lot of tokens as part of the socials.com, and OG benefits from like real world partnership with global sports teams, solidifying its legitimacy and reach. It's actually a token from a sports and esports team that is legit. And the last part is the emotional investment plus utility. Since it's not just a random meme token, it's about community empowerment. The more they hold, the more they engage, the more valuable their role becomes in the OG's journey. So it's just more or less like owning a token that gives you as a fan access. And this leads into the one of the most important parts of the token, which is the features. So when you think of features, we are thinking, what can you use the tokens to do? What are some of the things that you can like get with the tokens? And one of the things that you have is that the token is engagement based, where users have access to exclusive drops, NFT merch, and fun games. And there's the socials app integration. The socials app integration makes it easy to manage the tokens through the mobile app, which is one of the best crypto mobile apps because of the fact that users can play games, they can trade their tokens and do a lot. And the fact that it's a tradable asset means you can buy, sell, or trade OG tokens on major platforms like Binance and Chiliz.net, which is the state native DEX or native exchange of the Chiliz ecosystem. And it's powered by Chiliz. We know Chiliz has been existing for a while. I think Chiliz has been existing for up to 5 years. So they are not a project that will just run off or just get rug pulled or just vanish all of a sudden, which is one of the concerns that many people have. And one of the things that we also look at is is not just about what the token is, right? We want to also look at the price, and we can see that the token is fairly cheap. Is around $4 and is ranked 824 on the coin market ranking. So it's within the top 1,000 tokens. And when you think that the cryptocurrency space has more than 20,000 tokens, being in the top 1,000 is not that bad, especially when you're undervalued. And when you think of it, being an undervalued token means that there is a lot of potentials for the token, especially if the esports team continues to be successful, which they are. And looking at the market sentiment, we can see that the community sentiment is quite like positive. It's quite bullish. Most times, community sentiment typically tend to be bullish, but we can see that it's bullish despite the fact that the market is looking a bit like just there. And when we look at another indicator to see, and this is based on the market, and this is going to give us like a bit of indicator, that's the fear and greed index. We can see that is around the neutral, is around 42, which is neutral, but 42 is closer to fear than greed, as you can see. So there's that fear within the market, and this is also for most of the tokens because of the overall crypto market. There's a bit of that fear in the crypto market about tokens, with many people just thinking about how they are going to hold tokens, whether it's what it's holding some particular tokens. So it's not surprising that we have the fear and greed index in that level. And another thing too that we are going to also look at is major projects within the OG token ecosystem. But this is more about the Chili's ecosystem. We have the PSG token, we have the Barcelona token, Man City. I'm a Man City fan. Yes, we do have our token within the Chili's ecosystem. We have the AC Milan token, we have the AS Roma token, and we have the Juventus token. And for PSG, could see that it gave fans at the time, fans were able to like have influence over club matters like stadium music and team slogan, and it was very high profile during the Neymar and Messi era. Barcelona, we all know Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Fans were able to vote. I know for the Juventus token, it allowed fans to vote for gifts for the man of the match, like captain armbands, like it give it actually gave that access. For Man City, it provided like exclusive access to some drops, to some certain perks within the ecosystem. I know that that was it. It also gave it. And looking for places that you can trade, you can see that it's trading largely on Binance, which is great. And also on BitGet and also Mexi. Mexi is one place where if you are looking for low value tokens, you most likely see those tokens in Mexi, because it's very, very common for you to see that those tokens are like traded in Mexi, because it's a normal Mexi gives access most times to all these undervalued tokens. And when we look at the X sentiments, we can see that OG Labs is performing an airdrop, which is showing like positivity, and we can see that Globe of Crypto is a bit like bullish about it, that is looking positive in the verge of the falling wedge in the fourth in F4 HTF, and breakout can lead to 40 to 45% in the short term. And also we can just like with the X sentiment, which is quite important. On We know that X is the home of crypto, and many of the sentiments on Twitter tend to like show the perception of people about the token or where the token would be. We also like there's a lot of potentials within the OG token ecosystem. And one thing that we can do is just to look at, we can just explore what it's saying on coin market cap to just get a feel. So when we look at the token ecosystem on coin market cap, we can see that the market cap is just about 70 million. It's quite undervalued, but what part of the reason why it might be undervalued is because you can see it has been existing for more than 4 years. The old time I was $23, but it's hovering around $4. So it could be because it's tied to the success of the main project, which is the esports team. And it's a 4-year-old token, so it has been existing for a while. We can also see that it's traded on top platforms. So when you think about it, you can see some of the sentiments here on coin market cap. There are some analysis talking about the bullish reversal attempts and all that. So that's basically all about OG token and our token spotlight for today. Remember that the token spotlight is sponsored by FS Crypto News, which is one of the top cryptocurrency news platforms. And looking at I heard in on the market, like the things that I believe that could happen. Hopefully, we can see a resolution to the Israel-Iran war. And if we don't see that, the cryptocurrency market has shown the potential to always spike when people least expect it, right? So we could see that the market could have a rebound whereby we see the price of Bitcoin surpassing 110K. I'm actually more interested in reward assets, like looking at some of these tokens from reward assets, looking at some of these InfoFi dashboards to see which tokens have that potential. And from my observation, I've seen that there's a lot of channeling into AI, into the pin, and into reward assets. So we have some reward asset tokens that are likely to launch very soon and have shown a bit of potentials with regards what they can do. And it's quite important that we're able to like follow the market and know what's happening in the market. I think one of the things that would always like want to do is to analyze what's happening in the market. And you can see that so far today, we've talked about the Bitcoin price crashing below 103K, spoken about Norway's move to temporarily ban crypto mining. We've talked about what's happening among altcoins. We've done our market watch where we were able to look at what's happening to many of the key coins. We looked at Kaito and Cookie 3, and we talked about our token spotlights, OG tokens in our section that is sponsored by Fresh Crypto News. So far, the market looks all right, and hopefully, we can have a better market ecosystem in the next 24 hours where we see those projects like rebounding and giving us new trends and having by tomorrow we can see a bit of rebound. I would also try and look at some of the ecosystems that we can explore. We're also going to have our normal routine, but from next week we're likely to be using the last 10 minutes of our call after our token spotlight to just explore some crypto ecosystem beyond just the token spotlight and just like play some Web3 games. I think I'm interested in playing some Web3 games and seeing how they work, just checking it daily to see what they are about. And it's quite important that I can show you guys some of this ecosystem, some of the real world use cases of cryptocurrencies. And that's it for today. Until tomorrow, as always, cheers and have a great crypto day.